YOLO. Yo. What's good, everybody? What's the vibes? Salute. Big ups. Congrats. Positive vibes always. Salute to everybody. Thank you for stopping by. So, listen, it's been a little bit since I made a video, right? And I thought, obviously, since we're on the heels now of the NBA Finals, I thought it'd be interesting to watch this video that I came across some time ago. But I thought it'd be interesting just to check it out, react to it. Shout out to the author of the video. Let me see if I know. Mike Korzemba. He's got a YouTube channel. And so shout out to him. I'm gonna be reacting to this video with you guys. And obviously it's very, very synced with what's going on right now currently with the NBA Finals. It involves an individual that could possibly make it there or not. It's just a story or a kind of a rumor, right? That's been out there for a while. It's come across my desk a couple of times. It's never been proven or unproven. It's just something that I thought was very, very, for the most part, entertaining, but it's also interesting. So I figured we can react to it together. So appreciate everybody for joining us in the middle of this workday, Tuesday, May 23rd, on the heels of Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, heading into the NBA Finals, which starts in about a week. Appreciate you guys. So, let's watch it. Let's check it out. I'll be pausing periodically to talk about some things that I want to add to it or some observations that I've made as well. So yeah, let's check it out. But shout out to the author. Once again, I want to give them their credit. I don't want them to strike the video, obviously, because it's a reaction video. But yeah, shout out to the author of the video, Mike Korzemba. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. Hopefully I am. But let's check it out, guys. So it's called The Secret Truth. Is Jimmy Butler Michael Jordan's son? Let's check it out.
The leadership and incredible ability to rise up in the clutch ends after an NBA Finals Game 3 in which Jimmy recorded a 40-point triple-double, led the Heat to a win without their second and third best players, and outplayed both LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the process. Jimmy left us all with a familiar feeling. It was as if we've seen this before, and you know what I'm talking about. That competitiveness, that absolute lack of fear when attacking the basket, the will to never let up and instead lead his team to a finals win. In Game 3, Jimmy Butler certainly looked Jordan-esque, which brings up a very, very interesting rumor, because if we look a little closer, if we look at Jimmy's actual face when compared to Michael Jordan, we are suddenly at the beginning of one of the NBA's craziest conspiracies. Because I'm sure you agree, Jimmy Butler looks similar to Michael Jordan. In fact, these two pictures look near identical. And when we look at Jimmy Butler's backstory, well, is it possible? Is Michael Jordan Jimmy Butler's actual father? So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are back with the conspiracies. Trust me, I have seen the comments. I know you guys have wanted another conspiracy video, and this is a big one. I mean, of course, if Jimmy Butler is actually Michael Jordan's son, that might be the craziest story the NBA has ever seen. And the thing is, this conspiracy is not coming out of nowhere. There is actually a ton of speculation that does connect Jimmy and Jordan. You're not going to want to miss a second of this video, because trust me, things get crazy. Also, I do want to make this clear right now. Even if you don't believe in this conspiracy, that is perfectly okay, because remember, this is just a conspiracy. It's something that is fun to dive into and talk about the possibilities, but it's also something you can think is completely wrong. I do want to say though, make sure to watch the entire video before coming to a decision. Also, before we start, please like this video. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and thank you guys so much for killing it with likes lately. I appreciate it a ton. Trust me, it really does mean a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you never miss a new video. And now let's take a look at this insane conspiracy. So in this video,
okay, before we check out the video, I do want to say the fact that he keeps repeating conspiracy, I don't like that terminology, right? I'd rather the individual be saying rumor, because conspiracy kind of gives it like a negative connotation, whereas um just being presented with that word before you read a story or you check out a video or a claim, it's kind of putting the burden of the investigator or the researcher to kind of present these overwhelming facts, which um which would make it so that you can take it beyond the conspiracy. I I rather the person just say rumor, right? As opposed to conspiracy. We all know that word was created by the government, to slander any anti-government opposition perspective or beliefs or whatever. So we do know where that word derives from, and I do wish that the person used a different term when it came to this specific video, but it is what it is. Let's check it out.
So I am just going to present you with the straight facts and evidence and hearsay for this conspiracy so that you are able to get the full story here. And then after we have covered everything, both of us can come to a decision on the truth. You can decide for yourself and comment what you think down below, and I'll give my thoughts to end things. As for now, to get the full story here, we of course have to start at the beginning, which means we have to go back in time to February of 2016 when Therese Owens, the self-proclaimed #1 sports gossip blog in the world, received this tip. It read, "The child out of wedlock. Michael Jordan would not claim unwanted child in 1988 in fear of destroying marriage. Child took on mother's name of Butler. It was reported he paid mother off so he would not tarnish his public image and legacy and role model figure. After 13 years, mother kicked child out of the household because payments stopped. Report from..." And then the source is blank here, which would make sense. That is standard protocol. If someone gives a journalist a tip like this and wants to remain anonymous, the journalist is certainly supposed to respect that fact. That is how they keep their integrity. So with that report in mind, we have another report that states Jordan had a kid with a woman at or around the time Butler was conceived. It was well documented and is even reported that he tried to sneak into the hospital and that she received 23 roses while in the delivery room.
Now that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. We all know the connection between Michael Jordan and the number 23. And I think it's very, very humorous as well as symbolic if Jordan actually did that, right? Sending Jimmy Butler's mom 23 roses while she was in the delivery room at the hospital, allegedly, right? We don't know, but supposedly this is a rumor or kind of a lead that came in and that people were reporting on, right? We can assume, right, that if that was the case, of course Jordan would send her 23 roses, right? So yeah, I do find that interesting though.
23 roses. Of course, Michael Jordan's number is 23. Here we are. The seeds have been planted for the Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son conspiracy. Now, with these two statements in mind, if you did not know, Jimmy Butler's dad was never a part of his life, as it has been said that Jimmy's father left his family when Jimmy was just a baby. It is also well documented that when he was 13, Jimmy's mom kicked him out of the house with the words, "I don't like the look of you, you gotta go." That is incredibly harsh and horrible, but in terms of this tip, the pieces could theoretically fit here, especially when you consider that at least publicly, it is not known who Jimmy Butler's father is. In fact, if you go and Google Jimmy Butler's real father right now, all you get is Michael Jordan conspiracies, which means this theory has at least a little credibility to start out with because we do not know Jimmy Butler's father at all. But really, the most promising piece of evidence we have is this picture. The picture that turns this from an outlandish claim to something that is at least worth looking into. Because as you can see, when both Michael Jordan and Jimmy Butler's faces are combined, they look practically like the same person. Going further here, when we look at Jeffrey and Marcus, Michael Jordan's confirmed sons, we see that Jimmy looks more like Michael than they do. On top of this, Mike was listed at 6'6", while Jimmy is listed at 6'7", a very similar height, while Jeffrey is just 6'4", and Marcus is just 6'1". Weird. And as for the entire story attached to this claim, well, that would make sense too. Michael Jordan was already with his then girlfriend and future wife, Juanita Vanoy, at the time that Jimmy would have been conceived, and Michael and Juanita already had a son, Jeffrey, in 1988. Seeing as Jimmy was born in 1989, it would make sense that if Michael Jordan did value his reputation and image over raising a child he had out of wedlock, along with the fact that he would want to keep his relationship with Juanita intact, Mike could have paid Jimmy's mother to not say anything, as at this point, Michael Jordan was a role model to millions, and having the label as an unfaithful cheater attached to him, well, that would massively damage his reputation to.
So that is kind of one of the points that people want, like that obviously people can understand, right? At that point, Mike was almost bigger than the game. He was a high profile role model for a bunch of kids all across the world, not just in the United States of America, but globally. Like Michael Jordan was probably one of the biggest global stars as far as athletes, when you can think about it, like his impact or his celebrity, I should say, not his impact, but his celebrity was just bigger than the United States of America. So when you're dealing with a high profile celebrity like that, superstar, whatever, these kind of things can diminish, their marketability, their role model status, future contracts or sponsorships, so on and so forth. So and to be honest, this would not be the first time we hear of like a high profile athlete having a child out of wedlock, or having like a bastard child, meaning a child that they would not necessarily take a parental role in, right? So it's not that far fetched to think that the biggest basketball superstar at the time quite possibly could have had a child out of wedlock, and then taking it a step further would not want to necessarily um claim that child, right? We've seen it in other cases. I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but what I'm saying is it's not that far fetched to think that these things have never happened or couldn't happen.
Say the least. As for the logistics here, as we'll call them, well, Jimmy Butler was born on September 14th, 1989. Babies generally take about 9 months to go from point A to point birth, so would this be possible? Well, Michael Jordan did indeed play the Houston Rockets early on in 1989. However, they played at Houston on February 3rd, which would mean Jimmy would have been born in just 7 months and 2 weeks. That would have made him a premature baby, and there is no proof that he was one. That has never been mentioned. However, remember the tip that Owens received. That tip stated that these events took place in 1988, which would make sense because if Jimmy was conceived in December, 9 months later, boom, he would be born in September. And would you look at that? The Chicago Bulls actually played the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas on December 3rd, 1988. Dallas is just a 3.5 hour drive to Houston, and it would make sense that Mike would want to go to Houston because of their reputation for having great clubs of some kind. I don't know. Also, the Bulls just so happened to have a 3-day break in between games after this Dallas game, so there was certainly time for Jordan to make his way to Dallas and possibly make Jimmy Butler in the process. So there we have it. That is the full story with all of the supposed evidence and hearsay attached to it. Which means now, comment down below what you believe, and as for me, I'll give you a second to pause and comment. And
So here's the interesting thing, right? So obviously I presented you guys with some of, the tips, rumors, um, information that's coming, to these sports researchers, bloggers, gossipers, whatever, over the years, right? So at least there is a possibility of this actually having some merit. But now, what I do want to compare, since I speak oftentimes about numerology, synchronicities, and patterns, right? So let's talk about some of the things on the surface that kind of would give legs to this possible theory, right? So you have Jimmy Butler, okay. Obviously, like just mentioned in the video, the timeline would kind of make sense because Jordan was in the state of Texas, um, in the month of December, and he was there for as many as a couple days. Houston is in Texas. Dallas is in Texas. Jimmy Butler grew up in Texas, so it's not astronomically out of the realm of a possibility, right? Now, looking on the surface as well, Michael Jordan played his entire most of his career, not his entire career, for the Chicago Bulls, right? Chicago Bulls. Jimmy Butler was drafted by that same franchise, the Chicago Bulls. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean anything. Obviously, it's just a connection, a correlation, as well as Jimmy Butler did wear the number 23 a couple of times in his career for the Philadelphia 76ers, as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he did wear that number 23, as we all like to know and say the Jordan number, right? Jordan is very, very, um, he's been known as Mr. 23. Okay. So the number 23 is there, right? Now, when you want to take it even a step further and kind of pay attention to other things that were going on, right? So in the name Jimmy, right? I'll let you guys see this as well. So the name Jimmy derives from the name actually James, right? It's often a connection to the name James. Now Jimmy Butler's name is actually Jimmy, but I just want to show you guys this right here because obviously I did look it up. So if you go on Google and you write Jimmy short for James, right? Jimmy is a male given name of Hebrew origin. It is a diminutive form of the given name James. Okay. Now, why I'm bringing up the connection to James is because if you take it a step further and you do a little bit more research, again, I'm not an investigative journalist, but I'm just presenting you guys with some of the things that I noticed. If you take it a little step further, Michael Jordan's father first name is James. So James Jordan is Michael Jordan's father. And this is obviously, possibly, not obviously, but this is possibly we're talking about Michael Jordan's um, you know, Michael Jordan's child. It's not uncommon for a new father to possibly name their child after their father or after somebody significant in their life, right? It just happens sometimes, right? That's why you have juniors, you have the thirds, you have so on and so forth. So it is interesting to me that Jimmy Butler, Jimmy is the name commonly, it's a short and diminutive of the name James, and then Michael Jordan's father is named James Jordan. So I did find that interesting. Again, it's just it's there. You know what I'm saying? Is that what it is? I don't know. Okay, but I'm just saying it's there. Taking it one step further than that, obviously, we're just seeing other things that are going on, right? Jimmy Butler drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Okay, he wore the number 23, Michael Jordan's number. He also possibly shares the same name as Michael Jordan's father, which is James. Jimmy connects to James. Um, and after, I thought this was interesting as well. So after Jimmy Butler, if you go to his Wikipedia, Jimmy Butler, because he had the difficulties with growing up and with his mother, as you guys know, the story is his mom kicked him out. Okay, now if you go to Wikipedia and you look up Jimmy Butler on Wikipedia, I did find it interesting that they do highlight that in a summer basketball league before his senior year at Tomball High School, he was noticed by Jordan Leslie. Okay, again connecting right back to that name Jordan, right? A freshman football and basketball player at the school who challenged him to a 3-point contest. The two immediately became friends, and Jimmy Butler, began staying at Leslie's house. So the reason I'm connecting that is that obviously it was significant enough for Wikipedia to have in his bio, but again, you have the name Jordan. Just do you have a connection back to Michael Jordan? He then goes on to live or stay for a certain period of time with his friend Jordan Leslie's family. Okay, so I thought that was very interesting as well. Just more and more connections back to the name Jordan, Michael Jordan, or the lineage of the Jordan family, right? You have a bunch of stuff going on in there. Okay, and just talking about the number 23 as well. Obviously, we're in the year 2023, right? The Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat could possibly advance to the NBA Finals. Today being the 23rd day of the month, right? 23. Just connecting back to that number 23. Okay, I thought it made enough sense to talk about it and mention it. Okay. And if you guys don't think it is, then obviously there's something wrong with you. But it's just the pattern. Um, paying attention to things right in front of you, being an observant, so on and so forth. Okay. Jimmy, James Jordan, Michael Jordan, living with my friend Jordan's family, wearing the number 23, being drafted by the same franchise that drafted Jordan, all his notoriety basically came from playing for that franchise, uh, so on and so forth. So there's something there, right? And again, they could have chosen anybody to possibly connect to Jimmy Butler at that moment, right? And why Jimmy Butler, right? Why would they connect Jimmy Butler to Michael Jordan at that time? Like at that moment, Jimmy Butler was not a household name. He wasn't an NBA superstar. He was an emerging NBA player. But again, it's it wasn't like it was LeBron James situation where that kind of connection would have made sense, being with all the hype that came in with LeBron James when he was drafted. And then obviously you have the Miami Heat, right, as mentioned in the chat. Thank you for bringing that up. Which is the team that Jimmy Butler currently plays for. They retired Michael Jordan's number as well, right? They're one of the only he didn't play a single game or a second for the Miami Heat, but the franchise retired his number 23 jersey in April of 2003 as a sign of respect to him and his achievements. So Michael does have a connection to the Miami Heat, directly or indirectly. And they did retire his jersey. So shout out to the person in the chat. I appreciate you for pointing that out. I do remember when they did that in the year 2003, and obviously, in numerology, zero has no value. Take away the zeros in that year, 2003, and it just leaves you with the numbers 2 and 3, right back to 23, right? So there's something there, right? It's not, it's not out of the realm of a possibility. Okay. And it would be completely random for at that point people comparing Michael Jordan to Jimmy Butler. Okay. Um, so I wanted to present this video to you guys because again, I thought it was interesting. I thought on the heels of what's going on right now with the Eastern Conference Finals and possible NBA Finals in the year of 23, I thought it would be something interesting for you guys to check out, maybe further research, add some additional perspective or observations, and let's see if we can get to the bottom of it, or maybe not. At the end of the day, I thought it was an entertaining video to check out. And you know me, I'm constantly looking for new ways and new things to add to my channel to bring value, at least entertainment value, as well as information value as well. So I thought this kind of hit both of those categories, and obviously right in the middle, smack in the middle of the NBA playoffs, made all the sense in the world, especially including this individual Jimmy Butler, who's right now in the middle of a possible finals run. So, yeah, man, that's pretty much all that that all the information that I had as far as the observations that I made. Okay, um, as well as let's see what. Okay, so yeah, so so that was basically it. The things that I was able to observe and add to this video, besides what was already mentioned by the author of this original video. So shout out to them for creating it. I appreciate that. As well as shout out to everybody for checking out this video. If you have anything additionally to add, please drop it in the comment section, as well as new information or anything. Just if you like the video, if you appreciated it, so on and so forth. But I do realize it's in the middle of the day, so thank you for the people that did join me, and the people that added anything in the comment section, the people that enjoyed this. Please remember to click that like button. Okay. Appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's see what happens today on the 23rd of the month. Talking about all this 23 connection to Michael Jordan, right? So let's theorize right here. Now I'm not giving a pick, okay? But let's operate from the basis of if numbers had superpowers, okay? We're talking about superheroes now. If numbers had superpowers, today being the 23rd of the month, okay, in the year 23, when we're talking about all this Michael Jordan, Mr. 23, does Jimmy Butler, potentially Michael Jordan's illegitimate son, Does he advance to the NBA Finals on the 23rd day of the month to smack us right in the face with all this information confirming that he is, in fact, Michael Jordan's illegitimate son? I don't know. And there's currently 23 people watching this video. So I think the universe is possibly speaking to us. Is that what's going to happen today? I don't know. But I thought it was interesting enough and entertaining enough to put this video out to the masses. So let's see. Does the number 23 today give Jimmy Butler superpowers? I don't know. Okay, and today is also Tuesday, which if you guys don't know, if you write Tuesday out in the gematria calculator, it actually equals 23 in the purest cipher. Okay? So, do we have the trifecta of the 23rd day of the month, Mr. 23 Michael Jordan, and also Mr. 23 Jimmy Butler, because he wore the number 23 twice in his career? Does it give Jimmy Butler Jordan superpowers today, connecting right back to the number 23? So I'll show you guys. So if you guys don't believe me, you don't have to take my word for anything. But you see right here, Tuesday equaling 23 in the purest cipher. So we have this universal kind of synchronicity today with the number 23. In the year 23, will it give Jimmy Butler all the superpowers he needs to advance to the NBA Finals on the 23rd day of the month? We'll see. Now, if Jimmy Butler goes out there and scores 23 points today, don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't put you on. Okay? So we shall see what happens. But I needed to publish this video and get it out to my people, my community, the people that enjoy my content. It needed to get there. It needed to get out to the people. Okay? So shout out to you guys. Appreciate you. So basically the rest of the video, Mike, the author of this video kind of goes into the conclusions that he's made, as well as what he believes, and so on and so forth. So I don't want to play the rest of that part of the video because I want you guys to kind of come to your own conclusion. And but again, I showed you guys all the facts as well as what was as far as what was presented in the video to support this possible claim. The rest of the video is basically him giving his conclusion, which I want to leave up to you guys. Okay? So appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next video. As we love to say on my channel, gematria at its finest. Easiest 1, 2, 3. Salute to you guys. Take care. And we'll see what happens tonight. Again, I'm not giving out any pick. I'm not picking anybody in this game. I'm just saying it's a question. Will the number 23 give Jimmy Butler Jordan, allegedly, superpowers today? We shall see. So take care. Salute. Big ups to the people. You already should know. And if you're not a member of the community, you're already down massive units. The link for my platform, my website, my community to join us is in the description of every one of my videos. Okay? So get in tune or just get left. That's what it is. Salute to you guys. My name is Victor, aka Mr. Futures. Peace out.